Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. And we are going to start right away with a play against the Bears. And this is really a play to show how Clay Matthews is back, but also how Dom Capers plays that, you know, knowing that he has Clay Matthews back. There's some things that he can do and count on. And basically what we're looking at is a cover two defense with a four-man front, but, you know, this is the fourth guy, the linebacker. So go ahead and why don't you break it down?
Well, the first thing Jay Cutler sees, he knows isn't there in cover two. What he doesn't know is where the pressure is going to come from. So they got to set that protection, and they got an inexperienced guy in there. So this works out even better. So, but right before the snap time, Daniels, he kind of shifts down to this area right here.
Right.
And I'll tell you that in a minute. And Moses comes out here as a shift. And the reason why he shifts in there, because by being no empty backfield sets, the middle is going to be wide open because Brandon Marshall tries to get in the middle, the tight end tries to get to the middle. Now, if A.J. Hawk goes with that tight end, which he does, and 54 is out of there, here, that middle is wide open for him to just take off. So you put your spy, put Daniels in there to spy. Now, this is what kind of is puzzling. On this side, they run a twist. B.J. Raji comes at an angle that, as such, not really rushing the passer. Both of these guys engage him. The center reaches back to help with Daniels. This guy was one-on-one with Moses. The best rusher in Green Bay history, maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, gets a sack. And you say, how can that happen? They can easily pass him off and pick him up, or you can keep 8 or 7 in right here to chip.
He would just put a shoulder in him. Chipping means you just put a shoulder in and then you go on.
And see, once Matthews leaves, he'll actually put a shoulder in B.J. Raji. Now 78 can come off and block 52. Now Jay Cutler can look for his matchups. But to be honest with you, these guys are running off and running off. It takes time. But there's your matchup, really, 87 against 50. But with this kind of rush, it's too late.
You know, and we watched it over and over again. And, you know, talk about a lack of instinct. This guy, you know, Raji comes this way. It's got to tell you, okay, something's up here. You know, no way a guy is rushing, angling to the away from the quarterback. But even if he, you know, what hadn't been as slow, we saw Matthews, when he put his left foot on the ground right here.
He took off. It's a sprint to him.
It was like he was shot out of a cannon. And I think that speed, you know, I think that's a hard thing to deal with for an offensive lineman. You can't.
Speed and power, but again, they got 5 guys to block 4, and you leave a guy wide open like that. And not only that, but again, the angle of B.J. Raji again says that it's a twist, and you got to, you know, call a different front.
And look what they're able to do with a 4-man line here. They got all this coverage out here. You know, I mean, Tremont Williams had help from Burnett deep. He still had to cover Marshall short.
Still got to cover him.
But Casey Hayward plays his zone defense as well as anybody.
I think he plays it better than anybody.
And so there's nowhere for Cutler to go. You know, if you can rush with 4, boy, it makes you a lot better team.
You're right. It makes your defense 2-dimensional, not just 1-dimensional.
Next, we're going to look at how to attack a cover 2 defense and how they did it with Jermichael Finley. Okay, on the flip side, we've got this cover 2 defense and how to attack it. And this is more reminiscent of how the Packers used to attack cover 2s. And I think part of that is that they have a little bit of a threat of a run now. They're in an I formation and they only have 2 wide receivers out. And this is the cover 2. You got your 2 safeties, and they're usually pretty wide like that, aren't they? And the Chicago defense, at least.
Exactly.
So go ahead. You know, what did you notice first about when you looked at
first
this
thing in our film study?
Formation?
Tom, these guys are just so tight. The 3 linebackers, it's kind of a head scratcher. This is a run formation. I-backs, run formation, just a straight pro set. But if you're Briggs and you're thinking if it's play action, which it was, because it was a reverse pivot, and it was a play action on this side. Now, had they run the play action on this side, it'd be easy for Briggs to get over here. But they run it on the weak side. So now these two linebackers, they did what they were supposed to do. They attacked. Now, real quick point. These guys, they got to be running hard. They got to be running hard to make sure these safeties go cover them. That leaves that middle wide open. Now, off of the play action, two things have to happen: rhythm and timing. Jermichael Finley goes and leans out and comes here, but as Briggs went to him, he beat him to the spot. As soon as Rodgers makes this fake, it's almost like a blind rhythm throw. He makes a laser throw, stick his feet in the ground, a laser throw right there for a big gainer right there.
And yeah, Finley was here, and Briggs wound up, I mean, right there. But the throw was just perfect.
Great throw.
You know, and one thing that's interesting is because in the Bears cover two, usually this is Urlacher, right? And he gets, even if it's a run, he'll take a step,
Great
but then
point.
he'll bail back.
Yes.
And it's really hard to make that throw, right?
Right. If you don't value the run, you'll line up a little bit deeper and you will go right down the middle. That takes that throw away.
Right.
Or you got to make it lob it, and sometimes the safeties can get over and get a good hit on you.
Right.
But they did it with Briggs at the play action. He stepped one step, he's beat Jermichael Finley, great target.
Exactly. And
Unbelievable.
The threat of the run makes it harder for this guy to get back.
Right.
Because his first steps, instead of, you know, if
you have to support the run.
if they can't run and I'm Brian Urlacher, I stand right in place and see if it's a run and then go to it.
And because you got plenty of time.
Yeah, so
Again, it was a real quick, Tom.
Sure.
It was a great job to do it weak side, away from Jermichael Finley. You play action on this side. Now, when they step, all the linebackers are coming in this direction. That puts Briggs closer. Now it's a harder throw.
Oh, right. So it takes him longer to get to Finley.
Right, because he got to come weak side. So it's a brilliant call by McCarthy. Weak side play action. Now with Tennessee, the Titans, they'll still do play action this side, but what they'll try to do is bring Finley. He'll break out, and you'll bring 85 in and try to hit him on the post.
Okay.
So they got two things they can do on that.
Yeah, and one of the things that you know, you're kind of interested in is that this reminded me a lot of, and I don't know that it's the same play, but it reminded me of the Pittsburgh game when they kept attacking that the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Right down the middle with Jennings.
And you're right, because guess what? Finley wasn't in there. Guess who that guy was? That was 85.
Exactly, in the
They
slot.
put him in the slot. That's right. And that's so. When teams are running the first 10 weeks, running cover two, what are Green Bay's going to do? They didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
They go back now, attack the middle of the field. That'll get teams out of the cover two. They got to go one safety high. Now when Jordy Nelson come back, you'll see the long passes.
Right, and it all, I think, in my opinion, it all starts here.
Absolutely.
You know, you run the ball, you can get them on.
That's true.
So, thanks for joining us again at X's and O's.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Leap36.
And we'll see you after the Tennessee game.